Hello. What's up, Heaven's Cloud? Let's warm up with some trailers. Then we have this other little spreadsheet we have to deal with. But we'll get into that in a second. What looks cool? This looks like Go-Go Hypergrind logo. Claim.
3, 2, 1.
Snowboarding game? SSX? It's kind of like booty. Is the music ass? Not so sure about that one. Is this HD 2D? I believe this is from the developer of is it the Nine Shadows or whatever? Did I finish Prime 4? No, but I'm very close. This looks pretty good. What's up, Slade? Oh, that dude looks cool. 9 Years of Shadow? Is that the name of the game? I think it's that developer. But I might be wrong. Wow, that's big Castlevania energy. Let me look at this. Okay, those look like sub-weapons up there. Left bumper swap. Looks like a mana meter, actually, maybe, too. And then I think there's... Oh, I think the left bumper actually... I think it's like an A set and B set. I think this is very like Igavania handheld Castlevania style. You're hoping to see me stream some Prime? I'm not going to. Honestly, I that was a kind of a headphones on 4K situation, which is not really my stream setup. I don't know. Let me talk a lot about it. But ain't nobody want to watch me stream that. I mean, some of y'all do, but you know. I mean, this looks kind of like hot shit. What's up, E-Roy? Thanks for the Prime sub. That's a bit much, though. Is that a combo or is that weapon? I really like this. Look at this aerial pistol animation he does. Right here. It's pretty smooth. Release window is consoles. Yo. Wait, 2026 is not a release window, dude. I don't know. Let's see, what else is there? Woodroot?
What do you see when you look into the eyes of a life lived?
So we're going to do some categorizing
Do you see yourself?
in a little bit. And I'm going to need people's help. Because there's going to be some games I don't know too much about. So I could use some help.
Do you see?
I'm sick too. I'm getting worse too. I almost didn't want to do this stream.
Find my secrets there too.
And I'm a little concerned because my wife was like pretty damn sick. She thinks she may have even had the flu.
Did you clean the gutters? Did you check the pipes? Did you sweep for webs? You're the maintenance man. You must maintain.
Yo. It's kind of hot. Ooh. Cold. Need some tissues. Rinse game. It's it's a new fantasy critic year starting. Some people are already drafting, man. We need to schedule ours. What y'all think of the Keeleys? Oh.
They say the
I'd have to
arena
bounce to
gives
get some
people
tissues.
hope. A spectacle to believe in. But behind the lights lies something broken. They took everything from me. For them, this is a game. For me, it's payback. I found people who have my back. But he's behind it all. Together we'll bring him down. One fight at a time. Let the world watch.
Makes me want to play some Wasteland 3.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, I mean the Old Republic. Yeah, I mean games take a long time. I don't know.
He's here. It's him. It's Gabrielle. We need cars.
Behold, the echo.
We have touched your anger, tasted your fury. It has sharpened you. Who it is your greatest weapon.
リツコも言いたいことある？リツコ？
Fuck. I'm getting sick.
A Screamer tournament is about to be announced, held by a Mr. A. Consider this your personal invitation.
Burn alive, you piece of shit!
Holy shit. Did you know that this is a, well, dare I say the R word? It's a reboot. It's a reboot of a series from 1995. Look at this shit. Hold on, I had something else playing in the background. This is the same series. Isn't that wild? Looks pretty neat though. Well, I don't know. Maybe like in the menus and stuff there's some anime shit. What's up, Lemur Dragon? This game, look, this has a nice art style. But sometimes the art style ain't enough. It looks a little clunky. Well, let me look closer. Like, you can't just do... I mean, it has to be a good game. Hold on, I'm looking at both screens. Oh. I'm gonna keep my eye out for hands-on impressions of this game. Especially because one thing that the Haze Light games are like really insane about, and I think why they score really well is because, like the last couple, they are like very lengthy games, and I think they get a lot of mileage out of having so many different ideas. And I don't think any indie pretender can keep up with that. I don't. To me, this is like a 3-hour game, probably not a fucking 10-hour crazy. It Takes Two. I can't believe they're doing this and doing this and doing this. Like the sheer variety is what impresses, I think. But I mean, the art style is, they're killing it. But like, what is this gameplay? I don't, pretty neat though. Pretty neat looking. Rooting for it. I want it to kill. What's cool looking? You're gonna have to remind me what some of this shit is. Cold. Maybe dying. What's up, Loud Polly? Godslayer? You see that on here? There is that other co-op one. What is that called? Forest 3, that was wild to see. I can't believe that was a Forest game. This might be like low-key one to watch for FC. What's up, Funky Duck? Come on, man. Sons of the Forest is a 78 on OpenCritic, but I know the first one's like a mid to high 80s, weirdly. I don't know if this comes out this year, though. The Forest? Oh, no, it's down to like an 81. Oh, I might be thinking Metacritic. Before I played Fantasy Critic, I basically never went to OpenCritic, ever. So a lot of my, like, I've always followed, like, scores all the way from, like, back in the Game Rankings days and magazines before that, right? But it wasn't until Fantasy Critic where I actually paid attention to OpenCritic. Divinity fits into the Larian projects? Well, I don't know what Divinity is. Are they gonna make, like... They've made... They've made non-isometric RPGs before. Like, one of their biggest, like Divinity 2 is a 3D, like, third-person open world RPG, like fucking, you know, like fucking an Elder Scrolls game or something, but it's third person. And it was kind of jank. It was really jank. I was weirdly charmed by it when it first came out, but I remember streaming the demo on 360. I really don't want to be sick. Tomorrow's Christmas party at work. And kind of a fuck off day. I didn't want to. Let's see. Control Resonant. So this one, like Outworlds, this one looked pretty neat. What's this developer? Tomb Raider, we need to peep this. The only concern about Control is it getting delayed, right? I feel like Alan Wake 2 was one that a lot of people counterpicked, or yeah, some people counterpicked because they thought it would get delayed.
Something is coming.
I'd be worried that this would get delayed. I mean, Alan Wake 2 came out how long ago? Baldur's Gate 3 year, right? 2023.
You must have had good reasons. Not prepared.
I've never played Control, and I've kind of stopped playing Alan Wake 2. I
what would
got
follow.
annoyed by it. But I'm interested in this, believe it or not, because it's not a fucking shooter. It reminds me of Let It Die, which I love. Okay. Oh, I'm fucking cold. Hang on one second. No. Oh no, I want to see this. I finished Silent Hill F last night, but I'm not gonna play it multiple times. Like it looks insane, but like, what if it's bad? They've only ever done shooters. It looks wild. The music is wild. It reminds me of like fucking like Zone of the Enders music, which I'm sure is like some anime composer, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about? I mean, this looks like a game I want to play. But what is it? Is this a single player? Like, what do we know about this? This one looked kind of cool, right? Oh, but this has no, like, sort of data in it. What's up, Ravixi? This one's a co-op adventure? Everyone's making co-op adventures. It says coming 2026. Out
Your
of
names
Worlds. I wonder if it's like
Shall
out
give
of
you
this
names.
world inspired.
Name.
Is this right? Don't be fooled by an art style. But also don't be like the people who go like, well, it's like claymation, and so was Harold Halibut, and that game was a letdown, so this one could be a letdown. Like, people draw conclusions like that sometimes. Like, it's so weird. If the lesson is don't be completely sold by an art style, yeah, sure, but like, don't lump those two together. People were doing that with some game from this year. What are we thinking about the Tomb Raider remake? Well, do we want to call it a remake? We want to call it a reimagining. That's kind of what we're going to try to figure out here in a second. I've been called out by the creator of Fantasy Critic. As y'all know, I can be quite opinionated and can be a little loud, and I've very loudly protested some of the tagging of stuff like remasters, partial remakes, reimagining. And you know, my approach to these sorts of things are very me. So he was kind of like, dude, shut up or put up. So I'm gonna retag everything from like the past few years that has. If you look, I have a spreadsheet that's been provided to me, and this is everything since I think 2019 that has either been tagged as a remake, a reimagining, or a partial remake. I'm gonna ignore the remasters because I'm not really interested in what got tagged as a remaster, and I'll explain why. But we'll do that in a second.
It's been years.
I don't know what this is.
But the event
I don't know what the other one is either.
etched in my memory.
Flying Wild Hog. Questionable. But we'll see.
Lost worlds. Frozen in time.
Let me see. It's hard for me to tell like what I'm looking at. Is this
Frozen.
like actual level geometry?
In
that I'm looking at. It's hard for me to tell what is video game and what's not. So this already... Okay.
in time.
So, Tomb Raider's a game that came out in 1996. This is not something she has or does in the original Tomb Raider, but it is something that she kind of has and does in like Tomb Raider Anniversary. This doesn't like, what is this built on? Like, Tomb Raider has been gone for a long time now. Is this built on like what Crystal Dynamics was making with like the reboot trilogy?
New discoveries.
Like this right here, does this look like something from... I played them all. I finished them all, but I can't remember. It's been a while. Like the Survivor series. Well, this is a remake. This one's a remake. So it's not going to be like Survivor Laura. This, like, I know what this level is. What she's doing is very Survivor trilogy. It's hard to call it a reboot trilogy because it was already rebooted once before with the Legends trilogy, which was also developed by Crystal Dynamics. But this seems very... this doesn't seem like gameplay. This is either like mock gameplay or like an animation, like a cutscene that triggers when you get maybe grapple onto this point. And the Tomb Raider Catalyst or whatever, I don't know what to think about that one. Except that Mirror's Edge Catalyst is...
Across every chasm.
I'm trying to think, could this be...
I didn't know then the path this adventure would send me on.
There's already been some question of, do we tag this as a remake or a reimagining? The truth is, we just don't know enough about this game. I know, like, this dive backwards is very Tomb Raider Anniversary, right? Like, have we seen enough of Tomb Raider in this trailer to know, like, is this gonna be like Tomb Raider Anniversary but with completely new art, or is this a completely new game? I mean, I've played Tomb Raider obviously, and I've played Tomb Raider Anniversary, but
That still burns. That still burns.
like, this doesn't even look like real gameplay. The Anniversary games came out not too long ago? Yeah, they did. That was forever ago. I'm talking about Tomb Raider Anniversary, what Crystal Dynamics made between Tomb Raider Legend and Tomb Raider Underworld. Oh, you know what I heard? I heard Tomb Raider Catalyst is a sequel to Tomb Raider Underworld.
I need to see more.
Like, it's not like a...
I need to see more. I need to go further.
This thing was not a thing in Tomb Raider, the original. Tomb Raider Anniversary, I only played, like, all the way through one time.
To go
I
further.
think. Maybe a couple times back when it came out.
Uncover the
Probably a
secrets
couple
of
times.
Atlantis.
But it's been a very long time.
To uncover the secrets of Atlantis.
So, like, obviously it's something very different from... I mean, maybe I need to replay Tomb Raider Anniversary. I mean, Tomb Raider Anniversary was a remake. It had all... Like, it went from, like, level to level. It was, like, just like the first one. You went from, like, the same level to the same level to the same level. It had like the modern mechanics of like Tomb Raider Legend. And obviously the style of platforming was very different. It was very Tomb Raider Legend. Oh, man. I've played the original Tomb Raider, the 1996 version, more recently through than the anniversary. Well, I mean, what is she doing sliding under a T-Rex? Is this an actual move? It looks like this all just looks fake. Just show actual gameplay, please.
Are destined to be retold.
Oh, it's a retelling. It's not a remake or a reimagining. It's a retelling. I don't know. Curious. Is it going to be level based? Tomb Raider Catalyst. If it's a level based game and they try to hit like the same locales, like broken up by levels, semantics? No, Haste. We're doing science tonight. You didn't get the memo, Haste? We're doing science.
The entire world knows your legend.
But I don't think it's a reboot. So reboot is not a word that really is applicable to Fantasy Critic because they're just tagged as new games. There's no reboot tag because a reboot is, most certainly a new game. A reboot, I would say, there's even like partial reboot, right? Oh, man, if you really want to get into it, there's reboot and there's partial reboot. Reboot is like Tomb Raider Legend, right? Partial reboot would be something like God of War 2018, right? Or God of War 2018, where it's like, oh, they're just completely rebooting this franchise, and then it's like, no, actually, secretly, it is connected to those old games still. You know what I mean? But they completely reimagined, if you will, rebooted what a God of War game was, how it played, even though like technically it's still connected. That's like a partial reboot. I mean, it's a reboot.
The dragon's triangle.
I saw these arrows, this bow and arrow, and I was like, no. It's so funny, right? Because they're really focusing on this grapple thing. Like it's a big new thing for her, which she's already had in the series before. But like you saw her doing it, using this in that Tomb Raider remake trailer. And it's probably like them like utilizing the mechanics of like the reboot Laura or whatever, the Catalyst Laura in the level design and mechanics of the remake, which is exactly what Tomb Raider Anniversary did when Tomb Raider Legend introduced the same fucking tool, essentially, which is it's like history is repeating itself, and I don't even know if people realize it. It's so weird.
I've heard a dozen tall tales that say you're unstoppable. But I say, all legends must come to an end.
That's where you're wrong. I'm just getting started.
The thing is, like, I'm so hard to please when it comes to Tomb Raider. I'm so fucking hard to please. Like, right? Like, all I want is 1996 Tomb Raider. And no one's ever going to make a game like that in a AAA space ever again. Except, I don't know, maybe Fumito Ueda, right? Like, spiritually. But, like, what even is Tomb Raider anymore? I bet I bet Crystal Dynamics is so confused as well. Remember, they rebooted this shit twice already. So weird. I don't know. Tomb Raider Catalyst. It's kind of a cursed subtitle though. Like Mirror's Edge Catalyst was Mirror's Edge. We're finally back after all these years with Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and like, man, no one bought that game, and fucking EA knew no one was gonna buy that game, which is why they didn't want to make it. Fucking hell. The Divinity thing looks wild, but it really is just CG. What is it gonna be? I don't know. Hopefully it's cool. I mean, I'm sure it'll be cool. I mean, again, same deal. We don't know what fate of the Old Republic is really going to be. They did throw the word action in there. Yeah, 3 is going to be sick. I'm going to clock this one at a 83. Bradley the Badger. This one's kind of bait. It's bait. People like a chuckle. We'll see. Never again. Don't want to get into it. Come on, man. What the hell is going on? It's all those ads I'm blocking.
I love a new game. Okay, sunshine. Check. Back. Check. Time for a new platforming adventure. What? My village was done. All I wanted was to go back home. Badger board. Tried exploring. Did some jumping around.
I mean, this looks sluggish.
It's what I do. Everywhere I went looked strange. And
It looks fake, right? Like this animation and stuff looks like it's not even real.
And everything changed. Literally.
It's just like it's just
Oh yeah. Make your own
this stuff looks real, of course.
Now we're talking. I had a new grasp on things.
I think the more impressive looking game at the Keeleys was that squeeze and stretch game, Stretchmancer.
Transformed myself.
I mean, I get that this is charming people, but don't be fooled.
Picked up new wheels. Figured out how to think big and small.
Looks like a modern Conquer, except it doesn't, right? It does, but it doesn't.
And then the code broke.
It's not. And like, what is this? Is it just gonna have live action cutscenes? FMV levels. It reminds me a little of Ruffy and the Riverside.
And that's when I found you.
I mean, it shows well at a show, I guess. Oh, High Guard, man. Who's gonna be drafting High Guard? Woo. Hold on, I'm so cold. Maybe because I have the flu. I don't know. Hang on one second. I got a blanket. Sorry, I'm sick. I have to do this stream. What's wrong with High Guard? Oh, it was the thing that they ended the Game Awards with. And everyone was like, what? Jeff, we don't give a shit. I don't know. It's like fucking Overwatch or something. Is it a hero shooter? Maybe an extraction shooter? I also got an orange. It's going to help me recover from my sickness.
Into lands uncharted.
Oops.
I venture without fear.
Sorry.
And dangers untold. I venture without fear. And ride without rest. For coin or for cause, I fight to the end.
Whoever this is, they paid Jeff Keighley a lot of money, I guess.
Here we go.
Bringing the heat.
Your light belongs to me.
Moving in for the attack.
Shield breaker forming.
I mean, the destruction's kind of cool, I guess. It's just fucking capture the flag, isn't it?
Siege tower coming in.
The enemy is off gate.
I'm coming for you.
Marking baddies from above.
It's my turn. I am the coming storm.
I feel like Jeff Keighley was setting this up like it was gonna be, like it was an out of nowhere surprise game that was gonna take over the you know, the shooter fucking, like he you know, Apex Legends is what he was, I think,
am
wanting this to
warden.
feel like.
This
Like,
is
oh,
my oath.
no one saw this coming and it comes out soon. Just like Apex Legends. But I don't know. I mean, if it ended his show and it was this shit, they paid money. What y'all think of the Leon gameplay? We do got to get to business, but bear with me. What's up, Bog Noise? Tomb Raider. I love me some Tomb Raider, but man, it really is about that original game that I love the most. Tomb Raider 2. Fate Keeper? Yeah, if I just gotta remember which one that is. Kind of like Dark Messiah energy, right?
Hey, I just got a report of a missing police officer. It might be unrelated, but he disappeared near where the fifth body was found.
Finally be.
The team has settled on a person of interest. Someone with ties to Umbrella. Victor Gideon. Victor purchased a building after Umbrella went under.
I thought Leon
I'll
was
send you
going to
the
be more
address.
bearded and grizzled looking. He's not that grizzled. Is this whole game getting...
Welcome. Dr. Gideon has been expecting you.
So, according to Dust Golem, is this game? A lot of this game's also not gonna just be here in Raccoon City. That it's gonna be other places. But they're definitely like making players think that it's only in Raccoon City.
Hey, over here. FBI. What are you doing here?
Would you like to see what's hidden under the hood?
Don't do anything stupid.
Me? Never.
Dr.
What's hidden?
Stupid.
Never.
Am I losing my mind? Oh, here it is. It's at the end. It's like I thought they showed some gameplay.
I think I want a second opinion.
I hate the reticle, man. Give me my laser. This scares me a little bit. Right here. This shit reminds me of Resident Evil 6. Hype, definitely a top pick for next year. Pragmata still has this stupid kid. Mega Man kind of looks like trash. I don't know, right? Am I crazy? This is not a Mega Man game. They are ruining this. I don't. It's weird, man.
You've been to the sea before? On Earth?
Of course I have.
Man, need us again. I can't do anything.
Hello, unregistered guests. Your presence here is a violation of cradle security protocol.
Kids ruin games, and this one seems especially fucking tragic. I mean, this is crazy looking. Like, that is crazy looking. Hold on.
Hello, unregistered guests. Your presence here is a violation of cradle security protocol.
People seem to like the demo. It's not about the gameplay. It's about this fucking child. What is the gameplay? I didn't even download the demo. Is it the the demo that people have been playing at, like, it's not like anything like this crazy shit. Right? Like, come on, dude. It's you're ruining it, man. This is Capcom. It's like the funny thing is it kind of worked in Donkey Kong. But that's because I don't know. It's weird, dude. It's weird. Oh, I don't know what studio. No, dude. It's not. No, lemur. Weirdly problematic is like I think it's worse than that, a sheep, dude. I mean, it just looks a little whack, right? And like the craziest part is if they said like March 2026, people would be like, oh shit, new Mega Man game. But the fact that they said 2027, it's like, ugh. Like, why are you even telling us now, man? Can we get another art pass and then maybe, I don't know.
Please! Over here! Come, talk to me first! I can explain what's going on!
Capcom is no longer hitting home runs. The people are against Capcom. They are Cap God no more. Dragon's Dogma 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, people have their pitchforks out.
What is existence, really? Surely a question without an answer. Your father thought he knew, and it inspired him to grant wishes.
Oh, I feel shitty, y'all. I gotta get to this list, because I'm gonna need some sleep.
That's why all of us are here. You want to understand, to know.
I'm not gonna play Routine. I've never even played Alien Isolation. Or
play your father's game.
Any of the other Amnesia games. I just played the first one.
Reality itself.
Right?
Breaks.
Oh. Is that, when's this coming out? I mean, I don't know. Hype. This one looks cool. This is a Bruce Straley game, which is wild. The dude what created The Last of Us with Neil Suckman. I got something, Haste. I found my taped up ocarina. Gotta remember my songs. I think this looks great. Reminds me of Eco and Trico and Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom. Do y'all remember Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom? Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom, from the developers of for that other PS3 hidden gem, Game Republic. Oh wow, they died a horrible death. Whoa, what the fuck? Whoa. I'm learning some shit here. So Folklore was their PS3 hidden gem. Also, Majin in the... Here, this is Majin in the Forsaken Kingdom. Hold on.
Peggy 12.
I hate that I sound like a Pragmata hater, but I need to explain something to you. I've always thought that this little kid is creepy, and the way that like the creators are like treating this character, and this was especially around the teaser or like the delays and stuff. Like when like the girl was holding up signs saying, "Oh, it's not coming this year; it's coming next year," with like the line, the year crossed out and stuff like that. I'm like, it's a little weird, right? Like, why is this kid like staring at the screen like the way she is, and like it, just the gaze, like it just seemed fucking off, dude. And I was looking for a GIF so I can like shit post about this. And I saw some shit that like, oh, that wasn't in the teaser. There are creeps out there that are already using AI to like do weird shit. And I'm not saying like, like anything explicit. Not from what I've seen. I just fucking Google searched. But it was like fucking weird. And I just want this game just wiped from this earth, because any potential for like weird creeps out there to like what the fuck? Just asteroid hit us now. Just please take us all out. I will sacrifice myself if you can get some of these people with me. So, hold on. A lot of the people from this developer, Game Republic, that shut down in 2020 or in 2011, they are like a lot of the people that were like formed Tango Gameworks with Shinji Mikami.
So, what's your name?
Teodal.
Isn't that wild? Game Republic, makers of this game, and like a lot of the staff from this developer. This is a game, an eco-like game where you have a monster that you're like doing stuff with, which is very much what this old lady game is. Apparently I found like a cinematic trailer or something.
Your home in danger?
I've always liked this developer.
Yeah. The darkness is spreading.
So these are the Pragmata devs. No, man, you lost the thread, Haste. You lost the thread. It's all right, man. I think we got to get to business. I need like a Piost. Where's Piost? Someone wake up Piost. I need someone who what is this Chris Davis shit? All right, man. All right, we got to get to work. All right, here's the deal. See these games here? We need to recategorize them. Okay. So, let's see if can I make this bigger? So we have about 166 games. How do I want to do this? I need to... Who's here for business? So I was called out by the creator of Fantasy Critic, and I've been requested to give my opinion on every single tagging for all the re-games. Here's why. It's a very controversial thing, right? Because what happens is ultimately they make a decision on what they should categorize something as. And then and the reason they do this is for the tagging system, because certain fantasy critic leagues will ban certain kinds of games. Like for example, our league and our leagues, community leagues, we don't allow anything below a remake. So remasters don't count, partial remakes don't count. And the reason for this is because we don't want... So here's why I think this happens. For the spirit of like Fantasy Critic is that people don't want games in their leagues where the score is very predictable, right? And to most people, for remasters where the games don't they don't diverge very much differently at all from the original, it's like you're basically having the same game experience, so the score is probably going to be around the same, and we know what that game is, so it's not really fair because you're not rolling the dice on anything. Everyone knows what that game is. Everyone already knows that people like Braid, and this is just Braid again with better graphics and some new levels, and we don't want to allow that in our league because we want to basically we want to draft and bid on and roll the dice on new games, new experiences, because those are more unpredictable, right? You can't, because the whole idea is that you're doing the best you can based on, trailers and research and demos. Like, I have no idea what this game's going to score, but I have a gut feeling that it's going to be this. And they want to award that kind of like knowledge and research and gut feelings. And you can't really do that with a game that people have already fucking played and already fucking scored, and everyone knows it's really good or really shitty. So they have this tag system so you can basically create a league that doesn't have to have things like remasters in it or partial remakes or even remakes. The thing is, in this list, I filtered out all of the remasters because I don't really care about remasters, because I don't care about upping a remaster to a partial remake. It's not really what I'm trying to do. But we have remakes, we have reimaginings, and we have partial remakes. The problem is I think a lot of these are mistagged. I think a lot of these are not tagged properly. And what happens is it leads to, and if you go to the Fantasy Critic Discord, there's a whole section for debating eligibility, where people are arguing like, this is not a partial remake, this should be a remake, y'all need to change it, and here's why. And people present arguments, and they lead to these debates, and ultimately, Elite, the creator of Fantasy Critic, has to make a decision, and he might change a tag. But changing a tag mid-season can fuck people over, right? Like, look at what happened with Oblivion Remastered, right? Where the game was called a remaster. People were like, yo, I think this is actually more of a remake. And then people were like, no, it's actually mostly more like a partial remake. And the tags moved around a lot. And Chris Davis in our league had it on his roster, but then dropped it because he thought it wasn't going to count after the reveal. He drafted it when it was unannounced, or he bid on it. He bought it when it was unannounced. Then after all the scuttlebutt and after seeing it, he dropped it because he thought it wasn't going to be tagged as a remake. And for a while it wasn't, but they ultimately decided that it is going to be considered a full remake, but he had already dropped the game and it screwed him over. And this happens a lot. And that's why people argue about the eligibility of these games all year long in the Fantasy Critic Discord. And it's a pretty stressful job, and I get it. Here's what I think the problem is with the current tagging system. And I say this because I think the line between partial remake and reimagining, I think the line that needs to be drawn needs to be in line with the spirit of why people care about this tagging system in the first place. And that's that people don't want games in their league that are like basically unfair picks. You know, it's like when someone picks up Braid Remastered, you kind of want to say, fuck you. You're just, that's like a softball. We know what that game is. We know what that game's good. Like, pick a real fucking game, right? This is what people are feeling on the inside when someone drafts something like Braid. Like, we're here picking new games. We're rolling the dice on new games, and you picked some bullshit because it got tagged as a partial remake, and we happen to allow partial remakes. And I think where leagues draw the line, it's confusing. It's hard for them because they want to allow some of these games. They don't want to limit all of these games, because there are some remakes that are worthy. They're basically new games. Like, the whole idea is, where do we draw the line for what we consider to be a new game, a new experience that's worthy of a new score, something that you have to roll the dice on? And I think that line is very fucking weird. And I'll give you an example. Like, if you go down to the remakes, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater was tagged as a full remake. And let me tell you, that's still fucking Metal Gear Solid 3. I don't care that they ported the game into a new engine. I don't care that there's like modernized mechanics. You know, you can crouch walk and stuff now. Like, that game, like front to back, level geometry, cutscenes, it even has the same voice tracks and lines. Nothing was changed on that front, largely. Like, that's not a new experience. That was always going to score well because it's just Metal Gear Solid 3, but prettier and a little bit more modernized. And that's not fair because, like, you know, that's not... Spiritually, it doesn't feel the same as Metal Wolf Chaos XD is considered a remake. No. Near Replicant. We'll get into the Nier stuff in a second. It's not a remaster. This is what I would call a partial remake. Even though it was built in a new engine again, like, that experience, I'm just going to call it P for partial. That experience is largely the same. You know, where I'm trying to like envision this or when I'm trying to like frame it, I should say, is a full remake. You'd probably give more credit to the new team that is building a new experience, even though it's based on an original work. A partial remake, there is no way you would give more credit to the people who made Metal Gear Solid Delta or Oblivion Remastered versus like the original teams that made those games. Even if they had to build it again in a new engine, they are just making the same fucking game. And of course, if the original game is running underneath, or it's an engine port, or maybe they lost the code and had to rebuild it, if it's so, I need to. If the experience is so similar, then there's no way you would give the new team, the new developer, more credit. So at that point, you can't call it a remake. You fucking can't. It's a partial at best. Because spiritually, I think that's where people want to draw the line for Fantasy Critic. The bigger picture is they don't want people picking up games that are existing experiences that already been rated as such. And this ain't that. So this is where I think the line is getting blurred between remake and partial remake. The other line, and the reason that people are the reason people are fucked up with these debates and like, oh, well, you know, there's enough new mechanics and stuff and like the camera and stuff, which the camera argument's pretty stupid because Subsistence added a third person controllable camera in a fucking port. Or it was like a director's cut, right? Way back on the same fucking system. But anyways, this is harder when I'm sick, y'all. I am sick. They did a 1 remake. Weird. The reason why we're getting fucked up is because on the bottom end, where people want to draw this line, is because they fucked up on the top end with reimaginings. Okay. There is like a tier list and I need to like pull that up. Hold on. Give me a second. I need to get the link. There's also a tier list. Maybe it's better to start with the tier list. I don't even know what's on the tier list yet. Is because people are calling full remakes reimaginings. They're basically, and that's where it's getting messy. Because they're messy at the top, all of a sudden people are forcing the messiness down on the bottom end where that line, I think people really want to draw that line between is this a new game / new experience or not. Okay, let me pull this up. I want to see this tier list. Okay. Tier maker. Sorry, it's a tier maker. Fuck. Tier maker. Where did I actually? Oh, I think it was. Wouldn't reimagining basically be a new game? Essentially, Gray was, and this is where we're getting into trouble. Because to me, a reimagining is very rare. A reimagining is very rare. But people are calling things that are just like impressive remakes for games that have been decades like from the original. They're calling them reimaginings, and I think that's where we're getting into trouble. And because they've blurred those lines, they're blurring the lines on the bottom end where the true line is that people care about. Because essentially, here's my opinion. What should be tagged as a full remake is, to me, a new experience that is basically a new game, and that's why I am okay with allowing remakes in my Fantasy Critic leagues. While remasters and partial remakes are not enough new experiences not enough of a new experience to allow into Fantasy Critic. And I think that's the line people care about. Like, truly. And I think if we clean it up, then we all of a sudden, in general, I think they should get rid of reimaginings or let it be the very few games that it actually is. To me, a reimagining is what they're doing with Final Fantasy VII. That is not a remake of a game. That is a new experience that they are. Here's the tier maker. A new experience that they're doing crazy experimental shit with. They might be using like certain pieces from the original, certain moments from the original, but they are doing some crazy new ambitious thing. Another reimagining that I can think of is Silent Hill Shattered Memories. That is, they have like some of the same core pieces where you're like Harry Mason and you're looking for your daughter in Silent Hill, just like Silent Hill 1. But everything else from that point on is like a crazy new ambitious thing, new take on Silent Hill that, but it has the core like pieces and setting, but it's doing like, it changes the gameplay significantly. Silent Hill Shattered Memories has no combat. It has those chase sequences, you know? I think if you're like significantly changing a genre, even like that could be something that is in a reimagining. But not always, you know, like one of the things that really throws me off is, and I might kind of jump around as we're talking about them, is that Trails in the Sky, first and second chapter were tagged as reimagining. No, dog. These are fucking remakes. Like, I'm sorry. It's been 20 plus years since the original games come out, but like this, like beat for beat, like from locale to like, you know, story beat to story beat, it's like the same fucking game. Those are not reimaginings of the original Trails in the Sky games. They're just modern remakes in like the engine that they're making the current modern Trails games. And I think when this tag was debated originally, I don't know if it was disingenuous or what. Like, I'm not going to call out. Let me, how do I write a line? Write a line's going to make this look a lot better, but whatever. We're going to call remakes R. Partial's going to be P. And reimaginings, we're just going to, well, let me tell you, there ain't going to be many. We'll call them I's. This looks like a significantly different thing because so much time has passed. But the truth is, one of the reasons that I think convinced Elite 2 finally, like, in the debate channel for this, there wasn't actually a lot of back and forth. There was one guy who was like linked a video or was talking about how there's like real-time combat in Trails in the Sky first chapter, which was like kind of bullshit because I've played this game and I'm very familiar with this series. It still has that Trails turn-based combat, except you can do a lot more like before you trigger the turn-based combat phases. You know, like maybe you haven't played a lot of Trails games, but like think about in Persona where you can like hit an enemy before battle, or like in ReFantazio where they took that a step further and like depending on what like character class you could do more different things outside of battle. This is just like kind of an evolution of that, but no real combat happens in real time. It's all happens in the actual turn-based combat. Like you're not going to beat a boss or whatever, or like combat's in a new area completely in real time. Like you can get through combat completely in real time, but it's basically just the mechanic of you're way over leveled compared to these enemies, so you can actually kill them completely in real time. But it is still a turn-based combat system. This looks so different from the original game because that original game came out in like 2004. It's an old ass game, but the span of time does not change what the tag is unless they are truly trying to kind of create a new vision for like, not like a reboot. You know, they still want to use the core pieces of that original game that they're remaking, but you know, a reimagining, I mean, is what a reimagining is. But like at that point, all bets are off, which is what the case is for like Final Fantasy VII, what's going on with that, which, you know, spoilers kind of even talk about. But like calling Silent Hill 2 a remake or a reimagining, it's just fucking wrong. This, I don't know what this is, but I imagine since it's also Bloober, it's going to be very similar to Silent Hill 2 remake. Not reimaginings, dog. Like like you might have new story moments, you might have like expanded like areas, but like I'm saying, in Silent Hill 2 remake, you're still going to the apartment buildings, you're still going to the hospital, you're like you're going, like it's that story again. It's that story again. It's not just the core pieces, it is the same scenario, the setting and scenario, and like where thematic, like everything is the same. Even if it's like a very much more modernized game that's like expanded and stuff, it's still a fucking remake. Not all remakes are created equal. There are some remakes that are like, you know, much more high effort than others. And that's the case with any tag. I'm telling you, this line is what's fucking up the bottom end. And when you get rid of all these reimaginings, all of a sudden this becomes a lot easier. Because I think it's a lot easier to filter out what is a partial remake versus a remake. Because, and again, because it's that line between the two. Is this a new game or is it not? The reason why people want to allow full remakes is because they're essentially considering them new games. So, and Fantasy Critic is about scoring new games, right? New experiences. A partial remake is not a new experience. Like someone, like, think about like Delta, Metal Gear Solid Delta, or like Oblivion Remastered. Don't think about the titles. Like someone who fucking hates Metal Gear Solid 3 is not suddenly gonna love Delta, right? And vice versa. Like they're kind of the same experience. Even though like that modernization might make it go down smoother, right? It's still the same fucking game. Now you're going to get a person who's like, but the crouch walk changes everything for me. That's some disingenuous bullshit. We're talking about, is this a new game? Is this a new experience? Should this be judged completely on its own merits versus the original work? Fuck no, dude. Kojima and team still gets all the fucking credit, not virtuous fucking, you know, shoddy Blue Point who can barely make a game that runs well. Sorry, I don't mean to take it out on them. But both Metal Gear Solid Delta and Oblivion Remastered kind of ran like shit. There's going to be some where I don't have enough information, but hopefully I'm running my mouth enough to people can get, and I don't want to do any of these virtual reality ones. Virtual reality, like putting a game in VR is not a remake. That's just a sorry. So let's go back to the tier list because there's definitely some controversial ones in here. And so Modern Warfare is another like reimagining, right? Like these are not, from what I understand, I'm not a big Call of Duty guy, but like these are completely different than the originals, right? Right? Or am I wrong? Y'all gonna have to like fill me in, but like, you're not going from like level to level doing the same shit, right? Like they're called Modern Warfare, but this is kind of a completely different story and like scenario. Is that correct, Taste? Like Modern Warfare, are you doing like, you know, the ghillie suit mission the same as you did in the original? What is Uncharted Collection? This is just a fucking port. I mean, you could call it a remaster, but the reason I don't care about remasters and ports is because no fucking fantasy critic league worth their shit is going to allow these anyways. Because you're just awarding, like straight up, you're awarding the original work. Nothing about this smells like a new game. So I don't really give a shit, right? Call it a port, call it a remaster. It doesn't really matter. I'm only interested in like talking about these. And I know we've kind of like figured out director's cut. There's definitely some gray area for why director's cuts can be used as like an interesting thing. And we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. Call of Duty, whatever this is, that's just a port. I don't know. Again, port, remaster, I don't give a shit. Halo. This is the Master Chief Collection. Collections are like another argument that I'm not really here to talk about. Although this one becomes spicy. Because this is a new game along with Super Mario 3D World, which if it was just Bowser's Fury, everyone would be like, yeah, it's just a new game. But because it has 3D World in there, people thought that would maybe like affect the score in like a significant way. To me, it doesn't fucking matter. Like this Bowser's Fury is like much more significant than any sort of like side mode I've seen packed in by Nintendo or anybody else. Like they're basically just giving away Super Mario 3D World for free, I think. But I think this ended up getting labeled as like a director's cut or something. You know what's fucked? Partial Remake's not even on here. How am I even supposed to do this tier maker without Partial Remake? Can I edit this? What do I do? Okay. Partial could fill the role of director's cut? No. I think Bowser's Fury is a new game because of what we know about it after the fact. At the time when they're originally tagging it, I get why it can get a little weird. I wonder if that's... I mean, Bowser's Fury, you can play that for like 6+ hours. And it's not just a new game, but like it is like an experimental new game from Nintendo. It's like, dude, we're going to try to make a 3D Mario in a seamless open world. It's fucking ambitious. Like, I think they did a disservice to Bowser's Fury by like making Super Mario 3D World like so much bigger on the box. It's kind of fucked up. Yeah, it ain't no DLC. It is like a brand new full game. It's a weird one. But again, not really in the spirit, I think, of what I'm getting at with the blurred lines and how that leads to like these fucked up debates. This one was always going to be a debate, is what I'm saying. Can I create a new, like, I need to create a new category for, never actually used tier maker. Let's add a row. We'll make it, wait, no. Wait, hold on. We'll call this Forever Fucked. All right. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This now I want to be clear here where I stand on what I would allow as a league manager or whatever in like a fantasy critic league. It's that I would not allow partial remakes, and I would, or below. To me, anything partial remake or below is too much like the original work. So this is where I kind of don't really care the difference between a remaster and a partial remake. But I will say that this, it's not a full remake. It is the original experience, but they do a lot of, they may have like redone the art or like modernized the art a little bit, added some new mechanics. You can now switch your the weighted boots in the water temple can now be switched by just tapping the touchscreen, which changes the game. But this is the 3DS Ocarina of Time. It's the 3DS Ocarina of Time. At least that's why it's on the list. And the 3DS, like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time in 3D, I'd probably call those remasters. I think people need to get over the fact that like it's okay for a remaster to have some like quality of life, some slightly like modernized mechanics, maybe a partial remake because they also redid the art. The point is there's a line where it's not a full remake because it's too close to the original experience. Credit fully goes to the team that originally made Ocarina of Time. Doom is just, it's just a new game. I mean, so like you could call reboots or whatever just like new games, right? I don't know, tier maker. What the fuck, dude? Why is it doing that? That's so fucked up, man. Whatever, dude. What's up, poobs? Yeah, this is just a new game. Reboots are new games. Reimagining, I also consider new games, right? for the purposes of Fantasy Critic, what I consider a remake, it's new game enough to make it into a league. Spider-Man, I don't even know what this shit is. This is just what is that? That's just, do they mean the original Spider-Man or like the fucking remaster of it? Why is it on this tier list? Persona 4 Royale. Do we get rid of the director's cut? This is like a director's cut. Right? Or maybe just like a port. The weird part is like where director's cuts fall in line is like you don't really like people. I think this was labeled as a director's cut, and it gave so much power to what a director's cut could mean that all of a sudden like Persona 5 Royale was like allowed in some, like, it's fucked up. Persona 5 Royale is a port with new content. It's the same fucking game. Even if there's some new quality of life and tweaks, sorry Persona 4 Golden, it's not cool in Fantasy Critic. It's not cool. Like, you're not awarding a new experience here. It's the same fucking game. It's going to score very similar to the original. It's not cool. But yeah, director's cut, I guess. But again, to me, director's cut is even below partial remake. So like if we were to add a row above, call it director's cut. Right? I don't have that on here, right? Cut. We'll color it this color, I guess, or this color. And we'll put Persona there. Oh, wait, no. What the fuck? What did I do? Oops. Okay, we'll make that. We'll make that. Okay. I actually think director's cut does go above remaster. Okay. But again, to me, the line for what a league should allow, any self-respecting league, it's between remake and partial remake. Halo, is it? I think it's on here because of the collection part of it. I think it's just a fucking remaster. Same thing with Xenoblade Chronicles. Again, this is supposed to be like the 3DS version and then the Switch version, right? It's the same fucking game. Partial remake or not, it ain't no full fucking remake. It's got some new faces and some new art, and they tweaked the systems a little bit. It's not a new experience. Same thing for Demon Souls. Demon Souls, I call it a partial remake. Bones. The bones of the original game are running underneath. Shadow of the Colossus. This is where like this could be like maybe a little controversial, right? Because they did from the ground up make this game again, but they made the same fucking game again. They made the same fucking game again. Like, I don't think it has the original game running underneath, but there's nothing new. I feel like part of it is I don't respect this game very much, which maybe is not fair. But it's the same fucking game, man. I don't know. This one's a little weird, but it ain't enough of a new experience. It's just not. I know what you're going to say, Haste. I know you're a big Tony Hawk guy. Witcher 3, I don't know what this is. These are remakes, right? These I'm not a Pokemon guy. But aren't these are like the Game Boy Advance remakes and shit? Demon Souls is a remake. They did mess with hitboxes, camera movement. Let me explain what I consider a remake. I don't actually know much about this shit. This is a reimagining. This is a fucking partial remake. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes is... They changed cutscenes. They had new voice actors. They had the mechanics of Metal Gear Solid 2. To me, this is a much more significant difference than like Metal Gear Solid Delta. Is the level geometry entirely the same? It's certainly not a reimagining in my eyes. Shattered Memories is absolutely a reimagining. We're going to hold off on this one. Let me think. Samus Returns is a remake. This is like a remaster. Diablo 2 is a remaster. I mean, you could call it a partial remake. Sands of Time remake, we don't even know what that is yet. It's a remaster. So here we go. So Resident Evil 2 gets tagged as a reimagining because like a lot of time has passed and Mr. X chases you around like as a mechanic. It's still Resident Evil 2. Like the pieces are in the same places in terms of like the scenario and the story and the characters. Like a lot of time has passed. This is not a reimagining of Resident Evil 2. It's not. It's a one of the best remakes of all time. Abso-fucking-lutely. And they did some cool, new, ambitious stuff. It is not a reimagining of Resident Evil 2. It's just not. A reimagining is like a completely new vision for what that game is. It's still the core game, but it is a new vision. It's a new game. It's a new game. It is maybe the best remake. Is Tomb Raider Anniversary on this bitch? This is still Resident Evil 2. You know? The Resident Evil that they ain't gonna file the 2 off that box. But it is still, you know, like the setting, like the places you go, they're the same. The room layouts, like that shit is the same, man. Like, yes, Mr. X changes things, but outside of Mr. X, it's a remake. The thing is, the League calls it a reimagining. To me, there's very few reimaginings. This is the highest end of fucking remake, right? Same thing for like Samus Returns, right? Like they added like the parry mechanic and stuff, but it is still like fucking SR2. I mean, you're going to the same place to fulfill the same objective, and you know, you're still fighting those whack ass like bosses. Can you move and shoot in the original Resident Evil 2? No, you can't. You can't. But, you know, that's only because fucking 20 years has passed, right? Like they built this on like the bones of Resident Evil 7. That's why it feels so much more modern. But it's, you know, to me, it's like the Trails in the Sky thing. It's still a fucking remake. But to me, it doesn't fucking matter because the line is below remake and reimagining. I think they need to remove the reimagining tag and just call these new games. Or like leave it, fine. I don't care. But like the point is, it's going to be considered a new game. Like what league doesn't allow reimaginings? From what I've heard, only leagues that don't understand what it is. I mean, I don't know. This shit is just... So this one I would call partial remake haste. Yes, they add like the fucking revert and shit. There might even be some new, you know, levels like in Tony Hawk 4, 3 and 4. Is that on here? That one got a little weird, right? Because they had to like fucking tool Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. That's probably on the spreadsheet, right? See, why is that not on the spreadsheet? What was it? Oh, it's under remake. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 was considered a remake. So like, I think this one's definitely a partial. I think because of what they did with Tony Hawk 4, maybe you could consider it a remake. But again, that's a really, really weird scenario where they had to like completely remake structurally Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Like it wasn't positive what they did necessarily. It was kind of a bummer, which makes it weird. Link's Awakening. This one's a bit of a weird one. Is this a completely... Yeah, it is, dude. That Game Boy game... is screen to screen... Screen to screen Link's Awakening is the same game. Nah, that's a remake. It's a new game. I'm trying to think of like... What is that tagged as it currently? Because I don't actually disagree with like necessarily a lot of these a lot of these current tags, just sort of like the blurred line between partial remake and remake. Like this is one, like to me it's crazy that Resident Evil 4 is considered a remake and Resident Evil 2 and 3 are considered reimaginings, and really it's just because I think more time has passed. But you know, the Resident Evil 4 has like new scenarios, new sequences that weren't in the original game, right? You know, is that really all that different than having Mr. X in Resident Evil 2? I don't think so. You know? But it's a remake. They're making Resident Evil 4 again. I meant to take this virtual reality stuff out of here. Because they made a trombone champ in VR. To me, taking the same game and like changing it to VR. Here's my answer. Don't draft those. They're not going to get enough reviews. That solves that problem. That probably doesn't solve the problem for the people who are in charge, but to me the VR stuff is it's just partial remake. I call them all partial remakes. I should probably have not deleted that, honestly. Hold on. Okay, they're tagged as partial remakes, so that's good. Yuka Replay, partial remake for sure. This I would call Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. No, that's a remaster. You could have like redone art in a remaster or like tweaked art in a remaster. I don't really care. It's kind of like if it's just the art, I mean, you can give it partial remake. Again, it's not what I really care about. The Talos Principle Reawakened? What the fuck is that? That's not a full remake. It's not a partial remake, right? Like, you can have a remaster with new content and it's still a remaster. You know, one that I hate to do this. What am I calling remasters? I wasn't going to call things remasters on here. Hang on. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Let's refresh this. No. Help. Help. Oh, that whole tab is fucked. This whole tab is thinking. We're going to give it a second. I think it's going to crash. Wait, let me do this. Let me close it and reopen. Oh, God. Okay, I think we're good. This I would have called remaster. What are we calling remasters? Let's call them M's, masters. This is a fucking port, right? This is, or it's not a port. This is not a port. They redid the art. Ace Attorney Investigations, but isn't this like a weird one where we never got the second game? Is that why it was elevated to like partial remake? I think a remaster can have new art. But we can leave it as partial remake. It's like the important part is that none of these are like considered remakes. So I'm not gonna I guess I should P Brothers, definitely P. I shouldn't put the letter if I agree with it. But I wanna make some marking if I don't really know enough about the game. How do y'all feel about Crisis Core? I mean, that's a partial remake. Dead Rising remaster, sure. Like if how are you gonna call this a partial remake, but then Delta is a full remake? That's the crazy part to me. Dynasty Warriors 3. I don't actually know what this is, but I'd probably call this a remaster. So this is one I think is kind of interesting based on my knowledge. I do think that Final Fantasy Tactics got elevated to a partial remake. It was originally considered a remaster, but because of the voice acting, the new script to adapt to the voice acting, and some of the other quality of life stuff, it got like I definitely wouldn't call it a full remake. The one I would call a full remake, which is gonna like throw people off, but I'm gonna blame them for their lack of knowledge, is where is it? Maybe it's in remake properly. Tactics Ogre Reborn is a full remake. Don't at me. I have 250 hours in like each version of this game. You're gonna have to trust me. The shell of the car is the same. They completely rebuilt a different vehicle on the inside. Last of Us Part 1. Yes, we're okay with partial. I guess I do need to put letters because they're gonna want the letters. Partial's fine. Partial's fine. Partial's fine. Partial. I don't know enough about this. Partial. I don't know enough about this. I don't know what Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is. I'm fine with the partial at most on. Yeah, partial on Tactics I'm actually fine with. They did do a lot of work. Same experience, absolutely. Tactics Ogre Reborn is not the same experience from any version of Tactics Ogre, not even close. But again, that's my own nerdy fandom. You're going to have to trust me on that one. Even though, as an outsider, you probably don't see it. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Yeah, I'm okay with these. This Lunar Remaster Collection. Why did this get called a partial remake? This is like a remaster. Maybe because of the collection. Probably because of the collection. I'm fine with this. I'm glad that Ninja Gaiden Black was considered a partial remake, even though it was rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5 or whatever. Nightmare House, probably a port, honestly. Nightmare House. I played Nightmare House. Nightmare House 2? Why are these partial remakes? These are fucking remasters. Come on, y'all. Remaster. Don't know what that is. Let me put this up here. Reimagining. All right. I don't know what that is. Talos Principle reawakened. What did they just added new content? Come on. I love the Talos Principle, by the way. This is probably I need to not get my tags wrong. Wheel of Katamari. Come on, that's a remaster. Stop it. Oh, is it because they're combined? Get over it. No league should allow it. No reasonable league should allow it. Let's see. You can replay. Yeah, that's a partial. This is, I mean, fucking remaster. We can call it partial, so I don't care. Nah, it's a fucking remaster. Partial. Any of the VR stuff we can call partials. Alone in the Dark 2024. That's a reimagining as fuck. That's a good one for reimagining. I like that. Oh, it is reimagining. I mean, that's just a new game, right? But there you go. So here's what I'm saying, right? Y'all know that Alone in the Dark game that came out last year with the dude from Stranger Things and killing the lady from Killing Eve. To me, that's a reimagining, right? Do you see the difference between that and Resident Evil 2, where like room to room in Resident Evil 2 remake is like essentially the same? You know, you're going to like the same rooms to get the same fucking crests and shit. Like it is worthy of being considered a new game, a new experience, because I believe that the way I categorize remakes are, but it is not the same kind of category as that Alone in the Dark game that came out last year. That was just a reimagining of the original Alone in the Dark story, right? Let Us Clean Together feels more like a remake. You're talking about the PSP one? That one was also a remake. I would call that a remake. I would call Reborn a remake when it comes to Tactics Ogre. They rebuilt every single fucking system in that game over again for both versions. They're very different from the original Tactics Ogre. Very different experiences. I played through the Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles. It is still the Final Fantasy Tactics experience. Someone who loves Tactics Ogre could absolutely despise Reborn. And some of them do. Some of them fucking do. And it's not for like superficial shit. Like, I don't like fucking Ramza's voice actor. What's up, Boner Killer? Grey Woos, sorry. What Winged? Colossal Cave, I don't know what that is. Dragon Quest Reimagined, we don't know enough about it, truly. But I'd probably say that's like a remake. We don't know enough about it. These were these the same stories? I might consider those remakes, but I don't know enough about them. This one's obviously a reimagining. Yes. iRobot, this is a remake. I mean, I am familiar with this one. And it's not the Will Smith one. This is like a remake from like a very old game. Like the remake where the most amount of time has passed. I don't know. Maybe this is a reimagining. Maybe this goes places I'm not familiar with. But look at this original game. We need a comparison. I bet this review has it. This was an Atari game. Hold on. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. Come on.
Arcades.
This is the original iRobot. on the Atari. Yes, a lot of time has passed.
Scorched by critics and operators of the time, and not even.
Yeah, you can have a remake can be significantly different in like some ways. In some ways, but the scenario is the same, dude. Like the layout is the same. You're doing the same things in that game. You just are, minus Mr. X, which becomes like a... This is so much harder because I'm sick, y'all. It wasn't supposed to be like this. 40 years? What's the time difference between those? I don't know what this is. This is like the DLC or whatever of Disco Elysium. I mean, this is. I mean, it's like a port or director's cut. This is like they got added like voice acting or whatever. Stop it. This one's called the director's cut, and I think they added enough stuff. This shit, come on. I mean, again, at most. Remaster, right? This is fucked forever from what I heard. Insane Trilogy is a partial. This one is actually one of the harder ones to. I mean, it's a remake. This is certainly, to me, there's a much bigger difference between the original Metal Gear Solid and Twin Snakes than there is between like Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence and Metal 8 like HD or whatever. And you know, like the most recent version of Metal Gear Solid 3 pre-Delta and like Metal Gear Solid Delta are much closer experiences to me than Twin Snakes and the original Metal Gear Solid. I mean, Delta has the same fucking voice lines. Like, they didn't even re-record that stuff. It's crazy. Pokemon's a remake. I don't actually know much about it, but is this like a completely different game than like, what is this, Alpha Sapphire? This is like, I'm just not a Pokemon guy, so it's hard for me to, you know, I can't categorize something I don't really understand. And this is not even out yet. Sands of Time remake. I consider everything remake and above Fantasy Critic worthy. Anything partial remake and below, get it out of here. Layers of Fears? I don't know what that is. Mario Party Superstars? That's just a remaster. Come on. Right? What is that? What is Mario Party Superstars? Oh, is that, it's a new Mario Party game, but they have like all like levels from different Mario Party games in it? What is that? Like, this is just like a new game? It's a remake? Oh wait, what are you talking about, Gray? Was you talking about Pokemon still? Medieval is not a reimagining. Why would they say that? Mr. Run and Jump, I don't know enough about it. Octopath Traveler 0 is certainly a weird one. This I might actually say is worthy. I'm limited in my knowledge, but they basically turned a gacha game into something like much more single player. Or not single player, but like, maybe, you know, honestly, I don't know enough about it. Octopath Traveler 0, I guess that is a reimagining. Or maybe it's just a remake, honestly. Because it's still the same. Nah, that's a completely different experience, right? There's no gacha stuff in there. Soulstorm is a remake. Right? Isn't that a remake of Abe's Exodus? Am I wrong? How did Panzer Dragoon remake get up here? This is like shitty garbage remake. Certainly not a reimagining. In fact, this might even be a partial remake. Like, why? How did this get reimagining? Oh, man. I didn't have enough time to cover all this. I'm going to have to work on this some more. I'm sick and I got to go to sleep. Maybe I'm going to work tomorrow. I don't know. If I could decide if I'm not going to go to work, I could stay up a little bit longer. But how did this end up in reimagining? This remake, by the way, pisses me off. Because, like, they have the audacity to act like this is more beautiful than, like, the Saturn game. But, like, when this came out on the Saturn, it was cutting fucking edge, dude. It was, like, mind-blowing what this game looked like on the Sega Saturn. And then, like, these budget remakes, it's like, it might look more modern, but it doesn't capture the same effect of, like, you're seeing mind-blowing, like, 3D for the first time versus, like, some really budget shit that, like, erases all of the like, ugh. It reminds me of what they did with those fucking Front Mission games. And I think it's the same developer. But I don't know, how did this end up as reimagining? I don't get it. It's just Panzer Dragoon. This is like 1990. When did Panzer Dragoon come out? It's old as shit. Mid-90s. This is just a remake. Man, partial remake even. Again, I'm doing the thing where if I respect it less, I don't even want to consider it a remake, and that's not fair. It's really not fair, but it's true. It's true. But yeah, we could call this one a remake. But again, how is this considered a reimagining? This is where we get into the shit where it really doesn't make sense. It's just confusing people, and now, and when you confuse people on the high end with reimaginings and remakes, that's why they're confused on the low end, because then they start to elevate partial remakes into the remake category when something like this is considered a reimagining. They just remade Panzer Dragoon on kind of a embarrassing budget. I don't know what this is. Or this Trackmania? I don't know what they did with Trackmania. Reboot Camp are remakes. I hate to break it to you, but these are partials. It's just new art, and the soundtrack is incredible, but it's got the bones of Advance Wars running underneath. Maybe it was elevated because of the package, the combined package. Guys, I'm falling apart here. I'm falling apart here. Come on. Come on, man. How are these Age of Empires games not considered partial remakes? Alex Kidd, I don't know enough about. No. Another Code. Oh, is it because of the collection that it was called a remake? These I do think were like different enough. I need to look into these, but I'm pretty sure that's fine as a remake. I don't know. I need to look into those. I'll call it X. Black Mesa. I mean, with what they did with Zen and everything, it's definitely worthy of the remake tag. Catherine Full Body. Nah, dude, come on. New content, I don't think. I mean, remasters and ports have had new content for years. That doesn't make them remakes, man. You know, no one was calling like Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence a fucking remake, right? No one would call Persona 4 Golden a remake, right? Like, those aren't. Actually, no. Metroid Zero Mission is a remake of the original Metroid. Is it enough new shit to call it a reimagining with all the Zero Suit Samus stuff? I mean, it is still Metroid 1 though. But man, that's on the very high end of remake as well for me, if it's not considered a reimagining. And I think it is different enough from the original Metroid. I still think that's like really high end of remake. This shit, there's no fucking way, but I don't really know. Danganronpa 2x2's coming up because that one is coming out in 2026. I think Dead Space is a partial remake. I think Demon Souls is a partial remake. Although Dead Space is like fully connected and stuff, right? Yakuza, Dark Ties. I think that's... Yeah, these are... Enough is... Those are definitely remakes. This is a partial. This is not a fucking remake. Wasteland Remastered. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but it's probably a partial. Oh, no, this is Oblivion Remastered. Oblivion Remastered is certainly not a full remake. Trials of Mana. This is a remake. I'm actually impressed in 2020 they didn't call this a reimagining, because I feel like with their current rules they'd probably call it a reimagining, but it's not. This I don't know enough about. This is we call this remake because of the level design. Tomb Raider Anniversary Legacy of Atlantis. We don't know enough about. Tomb Raider Anniversary I would call a remake. Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore. Come on, dog. No, this is not a remake. New scenario, but it's still just like a bonus. Link's Awakening is a remake. Don't know enough about this. These House of Dead games, these are like shitty, but This is partial. System Shock is a remake. I don't know enough about these monkey ball games. Super Mario RPG. Oh, this is interesting. Would you consider the Super Mario RPG remake a remake or a partial remake? I think I'd actually consider that a partial remake. I remember like Paper Mario, like it has new art, but like it's got the bones of fucking Mario RPG underneath, man. Don't know. Steins Gate reboot, we don't have enough information about. Knights of the Republic remake, we don't have enough information about. I wish I would, Razor. I don't know. This is a partial. Or no, this is the one more recently, right? Second Story R. This is just a partial, right? It kind of has a new coat of paint, but the game is the same from what I played of it. I mean, it's pretty, but I need to go to bed. Yeah, it's like a port. They just added like HD 2D to it, but it's the same fucking game. I do think it's very pretty, but so, but like to me, this is a partial remake. No, let me think about the combat for a second. I think this is enough for full remake. It definitely doesn't have the bones of the original game running underneath. Yeah. Show some combat. I don't know enough about Episode 1 Racer, honestly. Would I count this for Fantasy Critic, though? Would I want it in my league in Fantasy Critic? I'm trying to think of the combat differences. They're not going to show any combat. It's actually a tough one. I need to play more. All right, y'all. It's 11:30. I have to get out of here. Riven? Free Look Riven was a thing before this version, right? Honestly, I don't know enough about it. I think it's important that I tag these as remakes. Oh, I'm just falling apart here. Pikmin 3 Deluxe got called a remake? Come on. Remaster. Fuck off. What do y'all think about Persona 3 Reload? To me, is that more of a remake than Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta? Like, absolutely, right? This is crazy that Paper Mario was considered a full remake. Near Replicant. I completely redid the combat system. Is that a partial though? I need to look into it. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I gotta go. This might be a partial. Did they re-record lines or anything for Near Replicant? I gotta go. I'm gonna try not to die tonight. Let's take some NyQuil. Y'all have a good night.